are coming home from school, and they used to hang out outside of Quick Check. And as you were saying in your message last week, that this church has always been done things for the community, and one of the things that they did, and I wasn't even involved back then, was to provide a place for teenagers who were hanging out downtown and had nowhere to go, and they opened a building downtown. And actually, around August, September of last year, we celebrated 10 years. So that's amazing.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And through, let me just, while I'm thinking about it, thank you guys from me and from the kids who show up to the vault. We have probably 15 to a maximum, probably sometimes almost 20 a day, 2 days a week, coming down there on Tuesdays and Thursdays right now. And I just wanted to say thank you from them, because, you don't get to see the impact it has, and sometimes I don't even get to see it, but it is making a big difference to them.
So on Tuesdays, Thursdays right now, and I know one of your goals is that we would go back to a third day of the week. But Tuesdays, Thursdays right now, for a couple hours after school, we provided them a community center for students to hang out and engage and all kinds of fun stuff. What's some of the activities that are inside?
Now, if you go, I try to send a lot of pictures and things to Facebook, but if you go online a lot, you'll see a lot of eating food.
Okay.
Teenagers like to eat. I mention this in the newsletters pretty much every time I write one. So if you read those, you'll know. A lot of it is, video games are very popular now, so a lot of it is video games. And to me, I always joke about it being, if you ever went to an arcade back in like the 80s, it's kind of like that. You get a slice of pizza, you play a game, and you talk. But we also have the added benefit, we do some sort of Bible study or Bible discussion each and every time that we open the building. So,
Okay.
we do that as well.
So ultimately, I guess, if you were to cast the vision for what the vault is, what would you say about that?
Well, like I said, first and foremost, it's basically a place for the teenagers in town to be. And, in the Bible, it talks about how we are supposed to be the light that points others to Jesus. And that's always been kind of what I've always thought that the vault is. Okay, I like that, Jason, when we were putting this message together, kind of classified it as local missions. To me, that's what it is. I work at a school, so I get to see a little bit of the impact of what it has, a little bit more even than just from the vault. There's a lot of people who come up to me on a daily basis when I'm at work and say, how much they enjoy the vault. I've had people come into Habitat where I work on the weekends. I've had parents come in and tell me how thankful they are for the opportunity that their kids have to come and just to basically, if you want to know what an average day is like, basically, the kids come in and, they're hanging out and talk for a little while. Sometimes something will have happened at school that day and we'll discuss it for a little while. And, they'll play a game and eat lots of food, like I said, and, and we'll talk about something in the Bible that's relevant to them or something that, they have questions about sometimes. And I'm actually really happy that, basically most, if not all, of the kids stay for the Bible study all of the time, and not because they have to.
Right.
I don't really, there's no way to force kids to stay. Can't do that, and we don't really have to, because there's no requirement for them to come in, but they come because they want to.
And you have a team of people that support you in this journey who
Absolutely.
help you facilitate making that happen?
Yes. We have two of them from this church right now, Dee and for everything that you do. And we also have Linda Matthews, who's a member of the chapel, who comes in. So, and we have, I was just talking to Scott Wilson, pastor of the Alliance Church yesterday, and Josh Mannix, who's a youth pastor over at the United Methodist. So it is, 100% a part of Faith Discovery, but the whole community is kind of involved in this project.
Yeah, it's one of the things I love about the Vault is it's a mission, or it's a project that was started out of Faith Discovery, but it is something that several of the other churches in our community support and engage. And so, wonderful opportunity for the Big C Church, Jesus' church, to work together to provide environments for students to be safe, and to build community, to have fun, and to learn something special. I guess, Brian, one more question. How can people support what we're doing at the Vault?
Oh, there are many ways that you can do that. One of them is that we always need volunteer help. I mean, if it sounds like something that you would like to do, we could always use a few more volunteers. I would eventually like to be able to open on Wednesday again. We were originally open on Wednesdays, and COVID and a lot of things that have happened this past year, we lost a few of our volunteers. But that's one way you could volunteer, and I can give you the information about that after service. Also, donating snacks, food, supplies, things like that, also really help. Everything that we do either comes from the church or from us or from the community. So, if you have the ability to, I know Dave used to go and he goes and buys every once in a while a box of chips from Walmart, one of those big boxes of chips, and brings them down here, and we bring them.
And the students are willing to eat those?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Ready, willing, and able, I believe. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I don't want to put them on the spot, but there's a couple of people here today who go to the Vault every day. They started out at the Vault, and you can go and you can ask them, talk to them, ask them about the Vault and what they think. And we even had another new person show up to youth group last week from the Vault. So which was a shock to me, because the person who actually showed up, and I won't go into too much detail, but he was one of those kids who always thought that if he actually walked into a church, he might set himself ablaze. So it was just one of those situations that,
Not only did he come, but his sibling came to Awana. And so we're seeing real practical impact in the short term and in the long term from your willingness to pour into students and from your generosity.
I have a lot of help. So.
What's that?
I have a lot of help. So that.
Well, yes, I appreciate that you deflect every time I say thank you. But Brian, you do a great job of If you don't know Brian's story of the Vault, he signed up to volunteered 1 day, I think, and the next day he was in charge of it. So, and so thank you for your willingness. Thank you for your desire to pour into students and to see them grow in their faith journeys. And thank you, because it's your generosity that allows us, and we talk about this quite often, it's your generosity that allows us to provide environments for people to engage Jesus in a number of different ways. And for a church to be able to provide a community center downtown where students can go. Students go whether we're open or not. You often hear from students who are like, why didn't we open today?
Oh yeah, we had a snow day a couple of weeks ago. If the school's closed, we normally close the Vault for safety reasons, and I got my phone kept going off, kept going off, kept going off. I was actually at Habitat, and I was sitting at the register, and I was with a customer, and my phone starts going off, and it's 2:57 in the afternoon, and one of our kids sends me a video call and takes a picture of a line of kids standing out in the vault. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, we don't do a lot of advertising, we don't do a lot of, you know, big events and things like that, but the kids show up because they want to be there. And I thank you for, you know, helping us to provide a place where kids want to be. And that was the entire point, was to have a place where they would want to be. And, you know, we showed them the light of Jesus, and, you know, we're starting to see the impact from that. So.
There are a number of ways that you can participate in being part of the vault, and your generosity is one of those things. So again, thank you for your generosity. Thank you for helping us create environments where even parents can feel that their kids are in a safe environment and that they're learning about Jesus. And so I think that's, Brian, thank you so much for sharing this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And as we transition back into, I invite you to stand. We're going to continue to worship. They're going to lead us in some more songs. And